forward to this computer. Awesome. So welcome. I am my elephant tonight. We're gonna go. We live up on a hill. This looks funny. We live up on a hill, so kids won't walk up. So, and we want to meet our neighbors. So we're gonna go after this, park at the bottom of our driveway, and hand out candy so that because the people who used to live up here, like everyone in town hated. So we feel like we need to make a new name for ourselves. So we have to like show up with like good candy down at the bottom of the driveway. But so that's part of the elephant costume. If I start dripping sweat, it's because this is very insulated. So a little bit of my idea for tonight, and I wanted to share a little bit about what I've been up to and kind of why I picked today to host kind of our alumni gathering. So as I know, a bunch of you know, I recently did Kripalu Mindful School of Outdoor Leadership certification program. And it was really inspiring. And actually, they talked about the Celtic Wheel of the Year, which is something that we've talked about in Nourish Your Nervous System. And I know with the two of you on the call tonight and other people who might be listening to the replay, these are conversations I've had with a lot of you as a group and individually about kind of taking care of ourselves season to season, honoring not only the season we're in this natural world, but also honoring the season we are in our life. So I know we kind of chatted about it being a really intense season of life right now, and we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. But I think, you know, one thing I've realized since moving out here is, and I was pondering this even just with the garden in Brighton, is how do you stay present where you are, even when things are constantly shifting and changing, and there's a lot of stress to be had. And for me, over the past, I'd say, I don't know, year or so, it really has been about tapping into the natural world and tapping into where my body is in small little rituals and routines that can really anchor me into the present moment. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Some of it's movement related, some of it's just mindfulness related, some of it's little rituals, the one that we'll do tonight. And I'll share, I wrote a little blog post on 5 different ways to kind of celebrate this season right now. And I'll be creating more writing on that over the next couple months. But yeah, the Kripalu School of Mindful Outdoor Leadership really gave me a great way to make that seasonal work a little bit more special, for lack of a better word, a bit more of like a practice than just something that we talk about. So we'll go through a bit of that mindful experience here tonight. I asked everyone, if you don't have it, don't worry. The window's going to work. I asked everyone if you had like a piece of nature to bring it. Otherwise, sitting by a window, we'll use either this guy or the window. So that's all good. Otherwise, yeah, tea, wine, water, whatever you need for a little beverage. I picked out, since it is the season of spooky and magic, I brought all of my magical oracle card decks with us tonight. I have a problem. I do have a problem. These bring me great joy. And we're going to pull them throughout the evening. And I'll pull them for you guys. And we'll just set some intentions, do some journaling, and do just a little bit of kind of Nourish System movement. Really gentle, like in our chairs and maybe on the floor a bit. So without further ado, let's just get grounded and we'll go from there. Take a moment to whatever beverage you have, just kind of like take a sip of it. Light up your senses. I left my tea is too hot, my wine's in the other room, so I'm gonna have to stick with water for the moment. But just take a moment to like really take a sip, enjoy it fully, and take a nice deep breath in through the nose and a big open mouth. Allow your eyes to close down and yourself to just become rooted in your spot. This season is a season of intensity. There's a lot of different, you know, depending on what you believe in, and it's different for each of us here, but there's a lot of different things going on energetically, spiritually, whether it's astrology you follow, the Wheel of the Year, Halloween, you know, different holiday seasons that are coming up. There's a lot going on in different traditions and belief systems. And there's also a lot going on in our physical world, our modern world at the moment. And I'd argue, probably for most of us, because I think a lot of people I work with are a little bit more sensitive souls out there. There's also a lot going on in our physical bodies and in our minds. And taking a moment to just let all of it land without judgment. Kind of feel into where you are. And we'll take a moment to check in with our 5 bodies. Take a nice deep breath in and a big long breath out. Noticing the quality of your breath, the ebb and flow, the rise and fall, the in and out. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it fast? Is it slow? Bringing awareness and honoring where you are. Take another deep breath in and a long breath out. Bringing awareness to your mental body, noticing what thoughts are kind of on repeat in your head, and almost allowing those thoughts, whether they're good, bad, or otherwise, to just kind of go on their little circle for a moment. Tell each of them, I hear you, thank you, and I release you. Take another deep breath in and a long breath out. Checking in with your energy body, noticing how your body feels energetically here. Is it energized or tired? Do you feel like there's energy moving through you, or maybe a little stagnant? And once again, it's not for the purpose of labeling as good or bad, right or wrong, but just more honoring where you are. Maybe what you need a little bit. Take another deep breath in. Big long breath out. Honoring your emotional body here, checking in. Noticing what emotions kind of come to the surface. And maybe you don't even know what emotions come to the surface. That's okay too. But noticing that as well. Allowing there to be a little bit of space here to feel your emotions, whether that's a bit of sadness for the ending summer, frustration, joy, anger, happiness, excitement. Let it all wash over you for just a moment. Take another deep breath in. Long breath out. And last but not least, checking in with your physical body. Noticing any aches or pain, any areas of your body that might be asking for attention, love, and care. While also noticing the parts of your body that feel good, feel strong, feel open. Allowing there to be space for both, because we can be more than one thing at once. Take another deep breath in. Long breath out. And then when you're ready, really slowly but surely, just allow your eyes to flutter back open. If you have a journal and you're kind of feeling like you're in a journaling mood, you might write down just a little bit of what came up for you there, maybe 1 or 2 points of just what you noticed. I'm gonna put on just a song for, I don't know, say like a minute, and then we will dive into the card pull that I just pulled. I found a woman who makes a playlist for every, she had Samhain and Mabon, so I really loved her playlist. So we'll play that. Beautiful. Just taking a moment to kind of finish up. So the first card deck that I pulled from, I think I actually got this when I went to Salem last year in October. I don't know why I decided to go in October, but it's the Pure Magic, and it's just a little fun one. So I picked Hallowed Heart, which seemed very appropriate for the intensity we're all feeling, because what it says underneath it is veneration, sensuality, gentleness, which I think maybe we could all use a little more gentleness with all this intensity. So I'm just going to read a little bit of piece of it, kind of what to think about, what to kind of talk about here. Can you say you work with courage when you're deep within the depths of darkness? Can you say you're worthy of devotion if you hesitate to look at yourself? Can you say you are powerful in your sensuality when you lay yourself down to sleep at night? A wise woman knows her worth from within as she basks under the moonlight glow. Her story is written in poems as lines along her curves, and she surrenders to the waters of love and life. Maybe you relate to this woman, or perhaps you don't, but every being, both male and female in the world, has a feminine essence. And it is in this very femininity that empowers the touch of great creative intuition. Without gentle sensuality, all magic of love and affection become impotent of divinity and grace. Blessed is the being who cracks the heart open to release the ocean of love that wells within. When combined with the energy of fire, you are ignited in the sacred force of womankind, unable to be drowned out. When combined with earth, you become the voice of the brown mother, with her children of trees, flowers, and plants unable to be cut down. When combined with air, you shift into divine song created by the goddess, unable to be silenced or suffocated any longer. There is power in vulnerability and wisdom in self-care. It is time to reclaim your energy you have spent over the days and years, and to restore your inner powers to youthful form. Your capacity to love the world is greater than even you thought possible. To feel the lions roar within, you crack open your heart and let this moment seep into your bones. As you remember your worth, so does the heart. And a recommendation for self-care is on your next evening, take a moment to take a warm bath. And there's a little kind of ritual for one warm bath. And pick essential oils or scents of candles that can really soothe you. So some recommendations here are rosemary, lavender, eucalyptus, or anything that kind of like works for your personal self. But really in my opinion, kind of interpreting that, a recommendation, a cue to turn inward and give yourself a little more self-care, and embrace, when it says embrace femininity, and this is something I'm going to dive into as we talk more about the seasons, is the turn of this wheel inward. Like kind of we're going to that darker season of winter, not to scare everyone, but because I know that can kind of be scary. But there is also this association with darkness and a little bit of femininity. And what that means isn't like just women, it's more of that softer energy, slowing down, taking care of ourselves, spending a little bit more time on, I don't want to say luxurious things, but things that make us feel luxurious, like baths, or I always joke, like part of it is dry skin, but I like change my moisturizer from something like lighter in the summer to like thicker in the winter. And it feels very luxurious to like put on thick moisturizer and then like put on something really cozy. That's my like favorite nighttime thing when I'm feeling a little stagnant or feeling like burnt out, to be completely honest. I spend like a very long time moisturizing and put on like my coziest sweater and my coziest pants and then like tuck myself into fresh sheets. That's for me a really great way to like ground and feel luxurious and even the simplicity of like little bits. So I hope that was give you some fresh ideas for self-care. Any questions, comments on that before we move into another little meditation on our mindful outdoor experience? Awesome, beautiful. And always feel free, if you guys want to unmute, have a question, since we're a small group, feel free to. So kind of first up, because it's kind of what's been on my heart lately, we're going to do a bit of a nature-based meditation. And this is something that I'm going to try either to re-record this week for you all or to like kind of piece out from this evening. This is also something that I'm going to start leading what's called nature meditations or mindful outdoor leaderships. And actually, you can lead them virtually as kind of just guided meditations where you can pop an earbud in and listen to this meditation. And really, it is about going outside and experiencing the natural world in a really mindful way. Tonight, just so that we don't all have to like take our computers outside, I also knew some people I invited to this live in different time zones. So I was like, I have no idea what weather will be for all of us. So we're going to do kind of a indoor mindful outdoor experience, but bring the outdoors into us. And then I'm going to record one for you guys that you can practice outdoors if you'd like. That seems like the easiest when I was trying to plan this evening. So one of the pillars of a mindful outdoor experience is orienting yourself to place. So kind of just taking a second to notice, and it's a little dreary here, so I'm not sure about you guys in Boston, just to kind of notice out your window where the sun is. Kind of see where it is setting, which is west. Kind of take a moment to peek at it. And then if you just turn kind of 180 degrees from the sun, that's east. And then you're gonna do a quarter turn. Well, you get my directions right, yeah. A quarter turn left would be north. Quarter turn left will be back to west, and a quarter turn left will be back to south. So it's kind of like honoring really just the sun for a moment. I know it is setting, but noticing where it is, kind of saying goodnight to it. It looks quite dreary outside by us, quite cloudy. And then also just honoring kind of where you are on your land. Maybe you know kind of the original people who own the land, who inhabited land, or maybe you just honor your family in your space. The years that you've been there, the heart that you've put into your home. Saying a little thank you to your home, to the land that you live on for being there for you over the past however many years. And then just taking a moment here to send a little bit of gratitude to some place, something, someone, kind of the first thing that comes to mind here for you. Taking a nice deep breath in and a big long breath out. And then we are going to stand up for just a moment since we've been seated for a bit. And we're going to do what's called, you don't even need more space than just like where you're standing. I feel like I don't even look like an elephant right now. I kind of look like a little hippo maybe. We're going to do just a little bit of warm up for our joints since we haven't seated for a bit. And this is called the Dasha Shalana, which is an Ayurvedic kind of warm up. So you're going to start standing on your feet, hips width distance apart. And you're going to take your right toes behind you, so your heels on top of your toes. And just start to make circles in one direction. Thinking about just breathing into the movement. It's really about just lubricating the different joints here. And in the Ayurvedic tradition, you do 8 circles in each direction. We'll reverse it. I'm going to do my best to do that if I don't get too carried away with chatting. Just feeling the toes, the foot, the ankle moving. Awesome. We'll take that to the other side. Left toes come behind you. We're going to do a circle in one direction. I would also like to share that my socks also have elephants on it. I'm an elephant wearing elephant.
That's awesome.
And then we're going to go the opposite direction. Beautiful. Alrighty, and put your feet together, knees together. A slight bend in your knees, hands on the knees, and you just circle the knees in one direction. And for all of these, the range of motion can be as big or as little as it feels good in your body. You might notice different restrictions, just kind of different areas where you feel like you have more motion and less. All good. This is working on some more ankle mobility and a little knee awareness. We're going to reverse. Like you're stirring the pot. And keep breathing. One more. Awesome. Step your feet hips width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And we'll take just a couple of swinging palm trees here, rotating the spine, allowing the arms to be heavy. Beautiful. And as you slow down, hands will come to your hips. You're going to draw a big circle with your hips in one direction. Once again, this can be smaller if that feels more comfortable in your body. There really is no right or wrong for this Dasha Chalana. And reverse, reverse, reverse. Like a slow-mo dance party. Oh, I got pockets. Alrighty, last one. You're gonna let your arms come down by your side. You're gonna shrug the shoulders up, forward, and around. Up, forward, and around. Last one. We'll go backwards, up, back, and around. Up, back, and around. All right, last one. Your nose is going to draw a circle on the wall in front of you. And once again, this circle can be big, it can be small. Kind of visualizing that circle. And if this makes you dizzy at all, just take a moment to just pause. It can play around with the vestibular system a little bit, so you don't have to do this one. And we'll reverse, reverse, reverse. Last one. And then with your feet hips width apart, knees slightly bent, you're gonna do a spinal roll down. I call these zombie roll-ups. Chin tucks, and I want you to picture your vertebrae. They're like bones that stack like this in your spine. You're gonna roll one vertebrae over the other down. So chin tucks, head heavy, arms heavy, and try to articulate each and every piece of your spine. You'll notice I get stuck kind of right here, and then I kind of just drop. That might be the case for you too, that's okay. Press through the feet, bend the knees, tailbone tucks. Roll back up, roll back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, head. We're gonna do just two more, really slow. Tuck the chin, roll it down, knees can be bent. Head and hands are heavy. Press through the feet. Tuck the tailbone. Back the hips. Pelvis. Low back. Mid back. Upper back. Shoulders. Head. One last at your own pace. I'm not going to say anything. And pause for a moment at the top when you get there. The eyes close down. Take a nice deep breath in. Long breath out. We'll come back to a seated position here, allowing there to be space to kind of land. I'm going to just lower this just a bit so it's not quite as bright. There we go. Okay, that's better. Awesome. So that was a Dasha Chalana, just a little mindful movement warm up. Really great way if you're feeling stagnant, just to get things moving. Alrighty, let's dive into our, once again, either using your piece of nature. This is a little mum from outside. Somehow I've killed all the mums on my front porch besides this, the one that's this color. Or you can do this while looking out the window, whatever kind of works better for you. And for this meditation, actually, we are going to keep our eyes open. And we're going to, the way it was really different for me to experience this the first time, because a lot of times meditations are eyes closed type of thing. And today we're really going to explore our senses and allow them to kind of wander. And if you have a physical piece, you can really focus on this, or if you want to kind of alternate between looking out the window and your physical piece, you can do so as well. So take a moment to just get yourself set up wherever that may be. Allow your eyes to close down for just a moment, and we'll take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. Allowing yourself to come back to your body, to your breath, to your being. And then take a moment to bring your awareness to either the physical piece of nature in front of you that you're holding, or the view of nature outside your window. And just set a little bit of gratitude to that piece of nature that you are focusing on, that you are holding on to. Some gratitude for the part it has played in your journey, for its space that it holds either out your window or in your hand, and for this moment to just connect deeper to something outside yourself. Take another deep breath in and long breath out. And if you have a physical piece of nature in your hand, you're just going to start to explore what it feels like to touch it. And if you're looking out the window, I want you to visualize yourself reaching. You might even reach and touching the leaf, the branch, the grass outside. And whether you're physically touching it or you are visualizing it, I want you to be aware of the sensations. What pieces of it are soft? What pieces of it has edges? Does it remind you of anything? And really just take the next minute or two to really fully be aware of that sensation of touch. You might even close your eyes as you stroke the flower or the leaf, as you visualize the crunch or the roughness or smoothness of the bark. Allow your brain to kind of wander and wonder about the layers and the textures. Taking one more breath in and out. And then touching into your sense of smell. If you're looking out the window, you might even crack the window open for a moment and kind of stick your head out and smell it. You have something in your hands, you can start to smell. And even just in your home space, explore the different scents, whether it's the candles or someone cooking. Allow your sense of smell to be lit up here. Ooh, I didn't know nut mums smelled so good. By what's around you, in your hand, out the window, in your home. And notice if those scents bring any emotions to mind or any memories. And maybe it doesn't even really smell at all, or just smells like leaves or grass, dirt. Ooh, might make you feel sniffly if you stick the flower right up your nose. And just even allow yourself to close your eyes for a moment and be fully in the experience of smell without any other sense kind of trying to take over. As humans, we experience the world through our senses, and we're always trying to put a puzzle piece together of all the senses at once to kind of paint that picture, to interpret it. Can we take everything out and just smell it? Don't worry, I'm not going to make you taste the nature today. Beautiful. And then letting your eyes flutter open and start to really focus on just what you see. Bring the object up close. You're looking at a window. Check out all the different colors, the depths, the layers. You're holding something in your hand. Let yourself linger on the different colors, the crinkles, the veins. After having touched it, notice what that texture looks like. Allow yourself kind of to be in fascination and awe of this simple thing that you might be looking at, that you might not have looked at so hard before. Let the mind wander and wonder about all the colors, the textures, all that you can see close up and far away. Allow there to be space to almost become obsessed with one piece of it, one color, one layer. Focus all of your energy into that. Take another deep breath in and long breath out. And then for the sense of taste, we will just use whatever beverage you have with you. Water, tea, wine, and maybe there's a little piece of Halloween candy next to you that you're going to grab. And allow that beverage to just kind of land on your tongue for a moment. Notice the different layers of it. Maybe it's something that is your favorite, and that's why you picked it for tonight. And kind of have one of those experiences of when you have good food or good beverages. Take a deep breath in and out. And then letting your eyes close down or looking outside the window, whichever you're kind of more comfortable with. I want you to envision yourself with your chosen beverage, walking out your door into whatever's outside your window. Maybe it's a tree or a bush. Maybe there's a little rabbit out there or your garden. And just kind of visualize yourself leaving the front door. Smelling the fresh air, taking a big sip of whatever beverage you have with you. What sights and sounds are outside your front door? What colors and textures as you walk to that spot you're looking at through your window? And you stand right in that spot. And you can see yourself in the spot. You can also see yourself through the window. Feeling the earth beneath you and the breath within you. Take a nice deep breath in and long breath out. Whatever kind of piece of nature, the flower, the leaf, the branch that you envision and explore today, return it back to the earth in this spot. Say thank you for the opportunity to learn more, to explore, to tap in. And let it go. For this really is the season of letting go of exploring and reflecting, and then leaving behind what no longer serves us. And maybe as you place this object down, you also let go of something else, a feeling, a sensation, an emotion, a thought, a worry, a phrase that no longer serves you. And you allow yourself to let go of that piece of Mother Earth and that piece of yourself, returning it to the earth to complete that cycle of death in order to be reborn in the spring. Say thank you once more to the earth, and you make your way back inside. Sit yourself back down. Take one more deep breath in and long breath out. Take your time here to slowly flutter your eyes open. Once again, maybe you write down anything that came up, something that you wanted to release, a phrase, a thought. I'm going to play this song for like another minute or so, maybe two, and then I'll do one more card pull for us. Time to bring our loved ones in. So we honor all our kin. We honor those who've gone before, and the great wheel turns again. Alrighty, my friends, feel free to keep writing if you need to, take your time. I pulled our second of three cards for this evening. This is also another kind of magical themed one. I forget where I got this one, but magical spell cards. I found a lot of these magical cards when I was exploring some more of my Celtic ancestry and the different Celtic beliefs and modern or Celtic medicine women, healers, often usually what we call doulas now, were most usually called witches, which I thought was really interesting. So some of these women that wrote these consider themselves witches, and I'm not a practicing witch by any means. I do love some of their little rituals and spell works because it reminds me of some of my Celtic ancestors, and it just speaks to me. That's one thing that I will say before I share this card pull. With this kind of seasonal living and these different ways of rituals and kind of honoring the different seasons, the thing that I really learned and really valued is that there is each culture has their own sort of seasonal celebration, since there was a lot of like agricultural lifestyle, even just like being a farmer had its own different celebration. So however you identify, there's different ways that you can find some of these seasonal celebrations within your own ancestry. So for me, it's Celtic. Greek mythology has some of this. I know that even just like farmers had certain celebrations. So I thought that was something cool, especially as I personally explore what kind of faith means to me as an adult. So divine guidance is the one that we got that I just pulled, number 38. And it says, whispers from the beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. So I'll read another little passage, see if anything speaks to anyone. And really the reason I pull these is maybe there's a little message or a little kind of note that you need to hear today. All right, so when we're in a fix of some kind, we often wonder how we became to be in such a dark situation. We may turn to counseling, discussions with close friends, to either help us or to numb us to the pain of being in such troubled times. But there's a wonderful alternative, and that is to seek divine guidance and counsel to help us see the shining path which lies before us anew. If you've chosen this card, the universe wants you to know that it has something important planned for your life, which may be difficult for you to see or even to believe at this time. This card will connect you with the source of guidance that you need. It will offer you messages that will help you steer your way through any trouble into the new dawn that is coming for you. You'll be blessed with clear direction, comfort, and a sense that all will be well. You simply need to be open to these messages. If you've chosen this card, you may be in a position where you can almost hear the guidance from whatever your source is. But the voices are like whispers on the wind, hard to hear, harder to make sense of. And so you can avoid taking action due to being unsure. This card will connect you with divine personal advisors who wish to clarify matters for you. But as you have absolute free will, it is up to you to decide whether to follow the guidance or not. Take a moment now to tap into your heart, to your breath, to your soul, and notice if there's any whispers that might be calling your name here. Beautiful. How are we doing? Anything kind of come up? I'll pause the recording for now. Pause the recording. So, for this ritual, you're going to take that piece of paper. And first, we're just going to close our eyes really quickly once again. Take a moment to center. Take a nice deep breath in. Big, long breath out. Tap into yourself, kind of how you're feeling right here and right now, mind, body, breath, like we did in the beginning. And on your piece of paper, I want you to write down one word of kind of how you feel right here, right now. And it might be a way that you really want to feel, which is great. Or it might not be, which is also great. And then kind of leave a little bit of space after that, just enough so if you needed to tear it, you could. And I want you to write down a word, a phrase, a couple of things of how you've been feeling kind of over the past month or so. Once again, it could be something that you're like, wow, I'm really feeling this way, and I appreciate that. Or it might be something where you're like, I'm really feeling this way, and I don't appreciate that. All of it's welcome here. It's all a part of the cycle of the seasons, the cycle of the seasons of our lives. And then once again, leaving just a little bit of space below that. I want you to write down at least 3 things that you would like to let go of this kind of cycle. It can be a feeling, it could even be like pain, it could be a phrase, it could be a worry, it could even be a person or a thing. And if you have more than 3 things, keep going. Write it all out, right to your heart's desire here. We'll take like another 30 seconds or so to just finish writing that list of things you are letting go of. All right. And I want you to take a look at your list. We have how you currently feel, how you felt this past month, and what you're letting go of. And if any of those things you want to keep, so say, how you're feeling right now, you might be feeling really connected or really peaceful or really calm. If you're like, man, I want to keep that, you're just going to like kind of fold the paper in half, rip that off. And so I'm going to keep my how I feel, or if you have, how you felt this month, you want to keep that, go for it. So if there's any pieces of that you want to keep, you're going to just place that off to the side. And then you have your list here for a moment of the things you don't want to feel, the things you want to release, the things you want to let go of. I'm just closing your eyes here, hold it in your hands, and just either repeat out loud or in your head. And thank you for this experience, but I am ready to let go. Thank you for this experience, but I am ready to let go. Thank you for this experience, but I am ready to let go. And then allowing your eyes to open. Once again, you got a couple options here. You can just crumple it up if you really want to like throw it against the wall. You can look at it and just like shred it to pieces if you want. And I'll see if I can do this safely. You can light it in a candle. I have a little bowl next to me. You want to make sure you have a bowl for this because paper burns faster than I thought. Which makes sense for all the fires, but allow it to kind of burn safely. Allow it to burn down. Allow it to rip into the tiniest pieces ever. And to really envision letting go of whatever that thing, that feeling, that emotion is. I'm just saying, I let go. I'm done with you. Whatever kind of words feel the most satisfying to you, like, no, thank you. What was that? I feel like there was something that was a very big like trend. I have no idea who or what because I don't remember trends, but like, thank you next. Oh, it was a song. That's why. It was a song. Thank you next. Yikes. You probably know better because you have a kid who's probably more hip than the rest of us.
I don't hear what she listens to.
All righty. Let that kind of rip up, place it aside, crumbled up if you burned it, whatever you did with it, just take a moment to kind of look at it. We'll take a deep breath in, long breath out. And we're going to put that off to the side, somewhere kind of like out of your eye space, the things that you're letting go of. You can throw it out or dump it down the toilet after our session. And then on a fresh piece of paper, if there was something that you wanted to keep, I want you to write on that top of the piece of paper what I am keeping and rewrite that little scrap that you might have saved, what I am keeping. And that might be one word that you originally wrote, but take a moment to just reflect on what you are keeping from the last month or so. The last kind of turn of the wheel, which was kind of September-ish, but I always think of September as the start of a new cycle, a new season. So what are you keeping from the past 2 months, month? And then writing after that, how do I want to feel the next kind of 2 months? You can kind of envision it in kind of shorter sequences. The next kind of turn of the wheel would be December 21st, the winter solstice. So between now and December, what do I want to feel? And then below that, I'm going to type these all in the chat so you can kind of, if someone's taking longer, if you want to stay with one longer, you can. What am I keeping? And then between now and December, what do I want to cultivate? / create. Those are kind of the same words. What do I want? And last but not least, what do I want to welcome in? So what do I want? What am I keeping? What do I want to feel? What do I want to cultivate? And what do I want to welcome in? And these answers could be as long or as short as you'd like. You can return to them another day. I'm going to put on one song. We're going to kind of take a few minutes to answer this. And if you have to go to the bathroom as well, feel free to, because we're going to do some movement after this. So I'll say like 5 minutes for journaling, bathroom, water break, and we'll meet at 5:40 for a movement. But I'm going to put one of my favorite songs here. Oh no, I can't find it. I will find it, and I will play that song. And when that song is over, we will reconvene for movement. 25 minutes, later, Carrie finds the song.
On my day,
He is so cute.
Oh, I thought I was muted. You probably heard me feeding my cat.
Oh, no worries. Jerry was looking very snuggly and cozy, so he wanted to come say hi to everyone.
Hi.
He sometimes will come into Shavasana when I'm teaching virtually. He's very weirded out by my elephant, though. So Say bye. We're gonna go do some movement. I love spooky season. We did not get him a costume this year. Go ahead, buddy. All right, how we doing? All right, so we're gonna come and we're actually gonna do our movement. If you guys have access to, actually, I might change this up, but do you have access to like a wall space that you can kind of like lean against? Like so. If the answer is no, no worry, we're gonna pivot a little bit, but I just thought of something earlier last minute that I was like, ooh, might be fun.
Is it okay if I'm sitting against the wall?
Great question. Let me just try to visualize that in my head. You know what? Let's come down to the full. No, you can sit against the wall. Let's sit against the wall or stand against the wall. Sorry, I was just debating what was going to be easier. So you can either sit or stand against the wall. And all of the instructions are going to be either sitting or standing. We're going to do about 10, 15 minutes of movement here. So first, before we get started, I just want you to find a spot, and I might delayer very quickly here, but you're going to just shake it out. Just kind of let everything get all loosey-goosey, belly hang heavy, the fingertips, the jaw, you maybe even make that sound if you're at the top. Shake out the feet, you might dance down a little bit. Alrighty, step the feet here so just apart. We'll do just a couple of swinging palm trees here. And letting your hands kind of hit your body and gravity take over can be really nice. 3, 2, last one. Let yourself land in whatever comfortable kind of standing position is. Nice and tall. I am going to delayer because I am way too hot. I have clothes on underneath, don't worry. Purposely chose my outfit to delayer quickly. Alrighty, this looks good. You're gonna stand up nice and tall or sit up nice and tall, and eyes are gonna look forward. And you're drop the left ear to the left shoulder, let the arm reach down. From here, your eyes are gonna look down and to the left, almost like you're looking down for this left hand. And you're just gonna let yourself land. Let yourself breathe. And notice. You feel like you need to yawn or sigh or take a deep breath. Let it happen. Maybe even swallow. And then after you kind of feel that sensation wash over you, you're gonna let the eyes look up and to the right. Like you're trying to look up as far as you can to the right without moving your head. And this might feel weird to you. So if it does, you can kind of stay and kind of play with that edge, or the eyes can come back to the center. Same thing if you feel like you need to sigh or yawn or take a deep breath, let it happen. And then eyes through center. Fingertips are going to come to your temples as you bring the head back up. You'll take just a little circle in the temple in one direction. And then the other. And let the arms relax, shake them out. Eyes look straight ahead, shoulders relax. You're going to take your right ear over the right shoulder, pause. And then eyes are going to look down to the right as you look down at that right hand. Landing, breathing, and allowing any sensation to wash over you. When you feel that sensation, eyes can then look up to the left. And once again, this might be tricky. If it feels tricky, oh, excuse me, I got caught in a yawn. Eyes come back through center or go back down to the right. Alrighty. Eyes through center. Fingertips temple, come on back. Give a little circle of the temple in one direction, and then the other. Let the fingertips just run through the hair ever briefly. Give yourself a little stretch, a little massage. Let that feel good. And then we'll stay in standing. We won't do the wall one just yet. We're gonna do a little ankle mobility that's actually really, for lack of a better word, related to nervous system. So for fun, let's just kind of test. Look over your left shoulder, look over your right. Notice if there's any tension looking one way or the other, or any like tightness. For me, I have some tightness to the right, and we're just gonna kind of like label it. So that tightness for me was like, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 out of 10 of how tight it could be. You're then gonna take your right toes behind you. Let me make my camera just a little bit brighter for you all. So you're gonna take your right toes behind you so that your heel is on top of your toes and most of your weight's in the left foot. You're then gonna bend the left knee and straighten it. We're gonna do 5 times 5. 4, just a little ankle mobility. 3, 2, 1. Step the feet back together, look left, look right. Notice if there's any difference. There may or may not be. You're then going to take the right toes behind you and to the left. So from the front, this is straight behind. You're going to cross it over the left, and your right heel is going to drop in towards your center. So you're going to get a little stretch to the outside of the right foot here. And then I'm going to go from this direction again. You can always hold on to your knee. You're going to bend and straighten the left leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same but similar. You're going to take the right toes behind you and then out to the right and drop the right heel into midline, stretching the inside edge of the foot. Then straighten the left leg. 5. This one I personally find difficult. 4. So you notice that might feel a little more difficult. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. You're going to plop the right foot directly in front of you, like do a little like make a sound. You're going to rotate. Let me be on the here. The right foot out to the side. So the inside edge of the foot here, the big toe stacks over the pinky toe, and then place it back down. Lift it up, put it back down. Hopefully you can see that, but it's just getting some tilt into the ankle, not in weight bearing though. So it's just kind of like using the ground to tilt the ankle. Last 3, 2, 1. You're gonna go the opposite direction. You're gonna rotate the ankle in, lift the pinky edge. 5. This one might not have as much motion. For most people, it doesn't. So that's okay. And this is working on really great mobility in the ankle, as well as really feeding the nervous system some good information. Last one. Great. Put the feet back together, not hips a distance apart, close down the eyes. Notice if the right foot feels any different than the left. Turn the head left. Back through center. Turn the head right. Back through center. Notice if anything's shifted in the neck at all. Take a deep breath in and out. Let's do that all on the other side. Left toes come behind you, all 95% of the weight's in your right foot. You're gonna bend and straighten the right knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna take the left toes behind you and to the right, so you drop the left heel in through center, outer foot stretch. 5. Then the right knee straighten. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Shake it out. Right toe, left toe is usually come behind you and to the left, drop the heel in. Same thing, bend and straighten the right leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it doesn't need to be a super deep bend in the knee. Alrighty, last one, you're gonna plop. I always have to do it like 3 times to make sure I really plopped it right in front. You're gonna rotate the heel out and the inside edge of the right foot, left foot, I keep saying that, right, left foot up. And it's gentle, and you're not really balancing on the left foot, you're just mobilizing it. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Pop it down and go inside edge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step the feet back together, close your eyes, take a breath in and out. Notice your feet, notice your whole body. Let your eyes flutter open. Look left, back to your center, look right. Notice if anything shifted. Take another deep breath in and out. The last little bit of movement we're going to do here is going to be against the wall. You can try it seated or standing. I think I will have to put this back on so my elephant head doesn't get in the way. So you're going to come all the way. This is called like a rag doll, and you're going to have to be as floppy as possible. So it's going to sound weird, but your feet are going to come out like like a foot from the wall. If you're in standing, if you're in seating, you're going to get you really want the tailbone, the sacrum anchored onto the wall either way. Bend the knees just a little bit so you have a stable base. And I want you to think like you are lifting up and over. So I'm going to show you what we do first. I'm going to talk you through it. So I literally think I have to keep the head on to actually get this done. You're going to take a little lift up through the shoulders and you're going to flop over the right. Let the left shoulder dip down. You're trying to keep the low back kind of anchored onto the wall. Really ragdolly flop over to the left until you get into that side bend position, and then you're going to pull it back up. So from the side like this, what's going to look like is you side bend forward, rotate all around. You're leaning forward until your left shoulder connects to the wall, and you're going to side bend to the left, rotate the right shoulder back, and then come on up. So it's almost like one of those like floppy, oh my God, what are those things called from, the things in the car places? You're flopping around like that. But we're going to do a couple to the right and a couple to the left. And you should be able to do this in seated too. It's really about keeping low back pelvis anchored, and you're moving the rib cage and the upper back. It's wonky at first. The first couple times I did this, I was like, am I doing this right? It's okay, as long as it doesn't hurt. Don't bring yourself into a range of motion that's painful. Just explore. Alrighty? Let's try it together. Take a breath in and out. You're going to lift up and over to the right, almost like you're a dolphin coming out of the water. Flop the right arm down. Left arm's heavy. Dial the left shoulder forward. Keep the low back on the floor. Head kind of flops forward. You're going to rotate your center. It's really slow. Rotate over to the left. Keep going. Right shoulder's peeling forward. Left. Lean back until your left shoulder gets glued onto the wall. Rotate the right shoulder back. Come on back up your center. Kind of let the head and shoulders come up last. Let's do 2 more to the right first. Up and over, flop. Left shoulder rotates forward. Right shoulder rotates forward. Head rotates forward. Let the upper back round as you come through center. Start to shift to the left. The right shoulder is really rolled forward at this point, and shift as far as you can until you have to start to lean back to connect the left shoulder to the wall. Right shoulder rolls back. Head rolls back. And the head's kind of still side bend here as you come on back up through center. Head comes up last. Try one more. I'm not going to talk you through this one before we just switch to the other side. Just explore on your own. And if there's a spot that feels like a good stretch, you might hold and take a breath in and out. And the next time you come on back through center, take your time, step away from the wall, close your eyes or keep the eyes in a soft gaze. And just take a breath in and out. Great work. We're going to soon do it to the other side about 3 or 4 times. So come on back to the wall, get a nice stable base, whether you're in standing or seated. You're going to lift up and over to the left, so the opposite direction you started with. Rotate the right shoulder forward, tuck the chin. Roll through center, head heavy, shoulders heavy, hands heavy. Rotate, roll over to the right. Glue the right shoulder down. Peel the left shoulder back, the head back to the wall. The head be hanging towards the right as you pull yourself up through center. Shoulders over pelvis, head over shoulders. Side bend left. Rotate right. Or rotate the right shoulder forward, excuse me. Roll through center, floppy, floppy, floppy. Roll all the way to the right. Glue the right shoulder, roll the left shoulder. Back. One more. And if you're in seated or even if you're on the wall, you can also do this away from the wall. The wall just kind of gives good feedback. So you can try the next one either away from the wall, in seated, or in standing. Let's do two more. I find personally, I can move slower when I have the wall as feedback. And when I'm in standing, I kind of get a little bit more fast floppy. Take your time. Come back through center. Let your hands let over your heart and your belly. Take a nice deep breath in. Sigh it out. Take your time, no rush whatsoever, to kind of make your way back to whatever a seat is for you for our kind of closing moments here. I've got one more card pull for you all, just because I was feeling like having fun tonight, I guess. I don't know. And if there's anything that you want to write down after that movement session, places that you didn't notice you were holding tension, things that felt a certain way, please feel free to do so. Always time for reflection. And last but not least, our card pull is from one of my favorites recently, the sacred cycles. This is all the cycles of the natural world, the woman's body. Yeah, just all sorts of different cycles. The moon cycle, monthly cycles. I picked 13 months for us tonight. Let's see what that has to offer. Oh, I did not look at the numbers. So number 10 should be 13 if you think about it. 13, oh, sorry, it says 13 moons, not months. Wow, that was a little bit of a moment of not processing. Oh, this seems very on par with the other card pulls. 13 moons. I trust my inner wisdom. Immerse yourself in the wisdom of the old ways of tracking time. The 13 moons calendar reconnects you to the sacred cycles within the wheel of the year. This exploration of time holds the power to reconnect you with the intuitive experience of a life lived in close communion with nature's cycles. This is a reckoning of your innate power, of your intuitive guidance that has never left you. You can rest assured that any abundance of inner knowledge resides within you now, awaiting your awakening and remembering. You're being called back into harmony with nature's rhythms to help navigate your current experience and soothe you. You may find comfort in exploring your ancestry back to the ages of those who may have lived in alignment with the lunar calendar. These ancestors hold keys to earth-based practices that will help reawaken and strengthen the inner power and wisdom that so dearly wants to be expressed through you. Open yourself to the old ways and witness what magic comes through. A journal prompt. What do I know about my ancestors and what can I learn from them? I swear I didn't plan that after all the chatting of ancestors and seasons. So just kind of finishing up our time together, we'll take one final breath in and out. Thank you so much for joining me this evening in person, and for anyone watching the replay. This is just a special place in my heart. All of you have been so kind to me as I navigate this business and this life, and are always open to the different ideas that I have to share, and I'm super grateful for that. For those of you on the recording, thanks for watching. I'm going to press pause now or stop.